All right, students, I'm going to show you how to do Unit 4, Activity 4.2, Problem 1. We will be modeling this object. So it is the gold icon on your desktop. Takes a moment to open. I am not going to attempt to hide fumbles that I make because I think that you may make the same fumbles. So we will all work together. Right now, we go to File, New, and then it's important to pay attention to whether it is English or metric. In this case, they want it to be English. Standard IPT, Create. And you get to this screen, which is blank. So what do you do now? We want to start a 2D sketch. So if you look at this object, deciding which face to draw first and extrude is actually pretty simple on this one because the contours are the same all the way through the object. So if we go ahead and draw this shape, ignoring this because it doesn't go all the way to the edge anyway, so it's going to extrude in a different direction. So that would be the first thing, is to plan your work. Second thing, choose a plane. I always choose the XY plane because it is the one that we are familiar with using. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. I really like the idea of putting your dimensions in as you go. It's critical that you always start at the origin. There are going to be exceptions, but in the beginning, let's be sure we've always started at the origin. I am going to choose line, and then I click here, here, and notice, okay, I'm going to Control Z that because when I moved my mouse to show you what to notice, it messed it up. So I'm going to click line again, click here. Notice that what is highlighted is that 2.54 inches. And we know from the drawing that we want that to be 1.5 inches. And notice right there, it just types it right on in. Now, look at this big mess we have because it's off the charts. The initial space that you are given is quite small. Now, we don't really want that there, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab the hand and I'm going to center it down here. Okay, so I used my scroll mouse, my scroll button on the mouse to zoom in and out. All right, now we are going to hit escape and I am right back in drawing mode. And you'll notice that over there to the right-hand side, there's a gray box with two lines in it, one red, one looks like blue, and it's indicating that we have a 90-degree constraint that we are creating. So I'm going to click, oh, pooey dooey. Escape, Control Z. I forgot to put in the measurement. That would help a lot. I mean, yes. Okay, there we go. Now that measurement is 1. My next line is going to be up 1. Again, it's showing that constraint, 1. My next one is going to be over 2. See, it doesn't matter how far I pull it out because it's going to adjust it to exactly the right measure. It's really, really, really nifty. So you'll notice I just go along, I put the measurement in after I click for the end of the line. I then put the measurement in, and I know this one's going to go down here, but if I want to be like, look, see it says 1.5 inches. There we go. We are hunky-dory. It says 90 degrees. And now what I want to do is I want to start from, well, I want to go both sides. So I'm going to go 0.5 in this direction. Oh, pooey. So everybody messes up. We'll just go ahead and start here and go 0.5 because I know that's how long that feature is. 0.5, enter, and then I'm going to go up 0.5, enter. You enter when you finish the line. And then I'm going to hit escape to get out of that because what I'm going to do is go over here and draw the same thing, and then I don't even have to do the math about that middle measurement. So grab 0.5, up 0.5, enter, and over. Now, this is a little bit confusing. You look here and it looks like I have a line there, doesn't it? That's your dimensioning line. You're going to have to look at this spot right here and know that those aren't joined and that's your dimension line. So go ahead and when you get the green button, click. All right, our beautiful sketch is done and it really didn't take that long. Now, what we want to do is we have to click on the green button, Finish Sketch, and I would like to get out here a little bit, and then I can go to Extrude. Look at that. It goes ahead and does it for me with the default settings, but I can change any of them. These change the direction, and it has a drop down there. Direction 1, direction 2, new solid, and the profile now, let's see, how far did we want to extrude it? It was 2.5. Enter, and look how beautiful that is. So now, if I go ahead, so I now want to draw that feature here on this plane. And if I just choose line, it's not going to work for me. Well, actually it will. So I can just put it directly on there. Or I could have done Start New D-Sketch. So click, and it puts it in place for me. And I know that it is 0.25 deep, so I'll start here to here and go 0.25. And I know that it is 1.5. 0.25. And I got my green dot there that indicates they're joined. Click. Okay, now the problem here is that it looks like it's fairly centered, but I'm really not assured that it is. Okay, the next thing that you have to do is you have to actually finish the sketch before you can dimension those remaining necessary parts. Okay, now let's look at this. If I try to dimension right now, I can select it, and I can select this one, and I can pull it out. Let's see what happens. Failed to create linear dimension. Okay, why might that be? Let's hit cancel. Well, can you see anything wrong with these dimensions? Do I need both of these dimensions? No, I don't. It's over-dimensioned. So if I right-click, I don't want to edit it. I actually want to delete it. Okay, so you're not always going to grab the command you want. It's highlighted red, and then I can click here and I right-click delete. Now it's not over-dimensioned, and theoretically it should work. So I'll click the dimension tool again. So I click here and release the mouse button, click here and release the mouse button. And apparently I'm clicking on this is not easy because look, I'm getting the wrong lines. I need a different view. So I'm going to hit escape. Now, if I go up here to the view cube and I rotate it, I can get just that face. So let's try again. Click the dimension tool, click here. When it turns red, click there, and it did not click, and drag out. Hallelujah! We know that that's supposed to be 0.75. Okay, it moved it in place. Now there's one other dimension, and it would be the dimension from here to here. So I'm going to click, dimension is still highlighted. So I click here, it looks like I'm pulling that out, and then I click here, and there we go. And that wants it to be 0.5. Yes. Alrighty, now we are just good to go. Now I'm going to click Finish Sketch, and then I'm going to go to 3D Model tab and click Extrude. And click on that because it didn't automatically choose something for me to extrude. It goes ahead and extrudes it, and I know it wants to be 0.75 inches. Hallelujah, we have finished our first sketch. All right, kids.